So I think when we become aware that the thing we're talking about isn't the thing that we're seeing it as, when we become aware of how we're constructing the thing, I think we're freed up to see it at least a little more clearly. It's about taking at least some of the scales away from our eyes so that we can see, like, oh, what I thought that was is actually a collection of my beliefs, my
Yeah,
images,
sure.
that it's my construct, it's not it.
Yes, and I find this occurs in all areas. Like when I've engaged in dialogues with particularly religious friends, okay, they might tell me like all their reasons why the Earth is definitely 6,000 years old, okay, and I'm not really attached to particular ideas about the age of the Earth, right? But I can certainly look at my friend saying this and think that's kind of far out. Like, how you just had to be really weird to think that, okay? So if I sink into the chain of reasoning that he might have gone through, okay, it starts with having some kind of mystical experience in a church, reading the Bible and feeling a sense of questioning and calling out as to whether God really exists, and then feeling a sense of love and peace descend, okay? And that all makes perfect sense. I've had experiences like that. Okay, so we're the same at this point. But his experience happened in a church, and there was instantly someone there to help and give him a context for that and explain it. And then God wrote this handy book to help you understand it. And you can see there's this chain that leads to a 6,000-year Earth. And say, okay, I can, on the one hand, I can see how that's a rational journey now, but also I can point out, I can feel in my own mind, well, come on, there's a separation there between that initial experience and what you've put upon it then. And I think you see the same thing politically, in there's this sense of aspiration with the EU. There's a sense of Donald Trump being the boogeyman, okay, but there's a distinction that can be made, particularly the EU example of, well, okay, you have a sense of aspiration for the future. You have a sense of wanting the world to go into a better place. Now, is it a certainty that the EU represents that? Okay, we could question that. And then there's a division there, where I feel people feel that the Brexit vote was a direct assault on their sense of aspiration.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that I see happen over and over again, working with clients, doing my own looking in this, is that when we start to separate out the personal bits, the bits that are to do with our own history, our own traumas, and so on, we do start to, I think a little more clearly. That there's less haziness about the thinking, because it's not fueled by all this stuff going on that isn't to do with the thinking. You know how it is. If you're in a state of fight flight, for example, you can't think clearly. And I think that's often the case with these things, that people get so riled up, so fueled up, because they touch into other stuff like historical traumas or whatever it is. And the clearer we become on what's ours, and tending to that part of it, I think the more discernment we can have, because I think it is important to say discernment and distinction are important, aren't they? I don't think what we're saying is, oh, any idea is just the same as any other idea. That there are
Sure, no, absolutely.
good ideas and bad ideas. There are that we do want to move towards a greater sense of evolution, a greater sense of embodying what you described.
Yeah.